Happy Wednesday. I'll give everybody a minute to join. Great. Very excited for this live and for Emily to be co-hosting. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Can
How
you
are
hear
you?
me clear? I'm good. I'm good.
Hello.
I feel like I have a cool effect with all the wind going on in Miami right now. Yes, I'm like, okay.
Wind.
I know I should have sat the other way. Okay, so Emily, are you excited to be co-hosting? This is your first time, right?
Yep, this is my first time. I'm so excited. Thanks for having me as a co-host this week.
Yes, no problem. Yeah, I'm excited that you're co-hosting too. Do you want to tell us a little bit about our next guest?
Sure. So I'm so excited to introduce our guest to all of you. So her name is Lara, and she works as an engineer in aerospace and also has a blog called Hello, Daydreamers. Lara also is the co-host of the Gals Chat podcast, and without further ado, I'm so excited for all of you to meet her. So we'll add her to the live, and she can introduce.
Hi, Lara. How are you?
How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you good. We can hear you
Okay.
good. Perfect. What was I gonna say? So where are you joining us from? Because we're all in the dark here, and you're in like a sunny, beautiful weather.
I feel like this is the only time where I am on the West Coast because I'm originally from the East Coast. So I feel like every live that I do with other people, like I'm the only one on the East Coast. But so I'm joining you guys or you girls right now from San Diego. I'm gonna be in San Diego for a couple of weeks. So I'm enjoying the sun while I can.
It looks beautiful. Like I'm very jealous. I miss the West Coast. Okay, so Lara, before we get started, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Larahuapaya. I currently work as a material science engineer in the aerospace industry. I work at Collins Aerospace, and I mainly focus on developing new composite materials. For anyone that doesn't know what I guess composites are, there's essentially.
Oh, Lara, sorry to interrupt. I think we're having some sound difficulties. A little bit. It's just kind of like going in and out like before.
Yeah, we can. Now we can hear you. Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't understand. Yeah, so let me just, so yeah, I was saying that I work as a material science engineer in the aerospace industry. So I develop new composites, any new materials that may be applicable to applications for aircraft components, which is really cool because I get to see like lots of new technology come out or be developed before it's implemented on aircrafts. So that's what I like about my job. And then on the side, I definitely focused a lot on outreach when I was in college. So after I graduated, I was like, okay, how can I continue this on my own and I guess have more reach with this? So that's when I came up with the idea of Hello Daydreamers, the blog that I'll be talking about later on, as well as I joined the Engineering Gals community, and then I started a podcast for them with one of the founders, Amy. So we kind of do a similar thing as you ladies are doing with this platform, which is amazing. So we interview a lot of women that we're able to find on social media that are just kind of just thriving in their journey, you know, share their successes and take away any tips that they may be able to offer to other students or early professionals.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And Emily, I think that do we want to start with a meme actually, since this is a meme account? Okay, so I'll share it. Okay, this is actually my favorite one that you sent because I can relate. Okay,
I was trying, so I was going through the different ones. I'm like, I don't want to reuse any of them.
It says reasons why I want to be an engineer, and majority is some able to say, trust me, I'm an engineer.
Right. It's like we need to, it's that, what's it called? Not our ego, but I mean, we went through like so many years of school and like all of our classes were so hard. Like I might as well flex the fact that I'm an engineer or like I'm the engineer in the room.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think that I saw so many memes about engineers having a superiority complex. So,
Complex.
so it
Yeah.
must be a thing. So, talking about engineering, what made you study engineering?
So I like to say that for engineering kind of chose me and I didn't choose engineering because it was a complete accident how I came across engineering. So I come from a family that doesn't have any engineers, anyone who has gone to engineering school. So when I was applying to colleges, I was going to go for architecture. And the college that I got into didn't have like the architecture program that I wanted. At the time, I was only on my green card. So I moved to the US when 13, and like when I was applying to college, it was like it at the end of the day it came down to like either finances or like going for the program that I wanted, which was like double the price. And to save money, I ended up going to the University of Connecticut, my like in-state college, and they didn't have the architecture program that I wanted, but they had civil engineering. So for some reason, my mind made that correlation of like, okay, architecture and like civil engineering are kind of similar, but I don't think I truly knew what I was getting myself into. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, I got into the engineering school, like, no problem. I did my first semester as like an civil engineering student. And then I learned about all the different engineering disciplines that there are out there. And I fell in love with like material science and engineering because I wanted to do, um, I also wanted to do stuff with like, I was really good at like chemistry and I really enjoyed it. So it was a way for me to like merge like chemistry and the physical side of things and just the theoretical. And it would just seem very broad for me to be able to, transition it to different like careers, because with material science and engineering, what I enjoy is like I can look into clothing, I can look into makeup, I can look into aerospace, it's like there you need materials and material innovation for almost like every single industry. And that's what I definitely enjoyed about the degree, and that's what I like to encourage other students to like look into. It's like what can give you the opportunity or the leverage to diversify yourself in like all the different directions that your career may take you. I mean, we know that a lot of stuff ends up being taught on the job, but at the end of the day, it's always good to have a strong foundation when like heading in different directions.
Totally. Yeah. I think one of the coolest things about engineering is definitely just like how you can have one degree and it's just you can apply it to so many different fields.
Yeah, and that's why like I think engineers like end up having such a creative mind and like problem solving mind that we're able to take these skills in almost any direction that we want. And that's a form of like investing in yourself, investing in your education, investing in your mind.
Definitely, definitely. So you said you were good at chemistry, and I'm assuming you had to take chemistry classes. What was your hardest class, and did you have any tutors or extra help or anything, or you just did it yourself?
I had some tutors. I think the one thing that I really enjoyed about my program, um, university, was they had us do a summer program before freshman year. It was called Bridge. And what they had us do was take like first semester courses within a summer, or like with a 5 week span before our first semester. There we had tutors that helped us with those initial courses to help us transition onto like college courses, calculus, chemistry, physics, and all of that. MATLAB, which was my least favorite. I still don't like MATLAB. I cannot do MATLAB. um, but the good thing is that these tutors were upperclassmen. So as I continued on to like sophomore year and junior year, I was still friends with these older upperclassmen, and they would be my tutors, but it was more of a friendship. I never had like specific tutors for a class, but I wish I did, especially when I got to my junior year. we had to take like thermodynamics and transfer phenomena. I'm like, there's no way I could pass this without a tutor. And I really wish the engineering program had like more specific, like class focused tutors, but there wasn't any. So actually, to which class was it? I think it was transfer phenomena. I had to retake a summer portion of it to like retake the class and pass the class. So to anyone who's not doing great in school, don't worry about it. Like it happens. Just keep pushing through it because you'll still make it. So that was as close as I got to failing a class, but you know, I feel like that's kind of normal in engineering.
Definitely.
That's why you have papaya tutors now. Okay, cool.
Exactly. I'm
So
like, why? Where was this when I needed this?
I know, me too. So you have mentioned to me previously that you moved to the US. Well, you just actually just said that. Um, so how was your experience as a first generation student navigating the college system? Yeah, I mean, I guess just tell me everything.
It was a little overwhelming because I moved in eighth grade, which in all honesty, now looking back, this is when like kids are kind of like awkward and trying to understand themselves when you're in like middle school, when you're in this like middle school age when you
Yeah.
don't really know what's going on. So yeah, it was extremely overwhelming to navigate myself. My parents didn't speak English, so I had to do, it was like the typical, I guess, immigrant story where like I had to do most of the talking. I had to grow up pretty quickly. I had to like translate to my parents and kind of figure out and navigate the whole school system by myself, which I like now looking back, I'm really happy that I was able to gain those skills like as early as I did in my like life or like career. But it was definitely an overwhelming process, especially because the college process here in the US is so much different than in Spain or in any other country, and also it's so much more expensive for some reason. So at the beginning, it was a struggle to find like scholarships, apply for financial aid, and all of that stuff. So yeah, it was overwhelming, but I don't regret it at all.
You know what? I actually
Yeah, it
just
sounds.
it just came to my mind that sorry, go ahead, Emily.
Oh no, no, you're so fine.
Um,
Go
so
ahead.
now, because I'm an immigrant too, right? When I came when I was 17, and I actually was trying to get into high school because I knew I was gonna like kill it at high school. Because I just finished school in Peru, right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be a piece of cake, just so I can get a scholarship. But they noticed and they were like, no, you already finished like school. You should just go to like, college. So I was just thinking, I was like, we all like go through that problem. Like don't have parents that know the system, right? So you're like figuring out everything on your own. You're a kid. And I'm like, they should kind of give you a guide if you're like, like if you're immigrating to this country, from like, I guess like 12 to like 18, that, hey, this is like all the scholarships that are available to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're a student, you should go to school.
Right.
I don't know because
Right.
I
So,
was
I
so
mean, that's
lost.
what I'm trying to do now because so I have two younger sisters.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is everything that I learned. And now that I have friends who have also gone through it, it's like, okay, like let me kind of hand this to you and help you understand like all the different opportunities that you have like available, or that you can apply for while you're early, like still like in the early stages of going to school. So that's one of the things that I feel very passionate about outside of like just the work that I do is being able to help people when there are no resources available to us. And you would think that there's a lot of like different programs and different people who are kind of trying to do the same thing or on a similar mission, but at the end of the day, like it, we still need more of it. Like there's never going to be enough of it. And I encourage a lot of people to just be transparent and just share their journey and share everything that they've had to either go through or like apply to, or just anything that they've had to, because there's at least one more person out there who's probably in a similar situation that can get inspired or just get like different ideas by the decisions that you have previously made in your life.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I
that's such.
Go ahead, Emily. I think it's
Okay.
your turn to
Okay,
ask
I was just gonna say that's such great advice, and I think totally True. Do you have any other tips for students? It sounds like you've learned so much throughout all of your experiences.
I did. I would say network as much as you can. This was something, and I want to like focus more on my like introverts, like the introvert students, the ones that are quiet, because that was me. That was me all of like high school and a little bit of college as well, until like I learned that like speaking my truth and speaking my voice and just sharing what I want in the world is such an important part of getting and achieving your goals. So you need to, I would say, like learn how to network, how to like story tell, how to just talk to people and be intentional with your words, be intentional with your actions. Like go to conferences. One of the things that I always recommend to engineering students is like join organizations, go to conferences, start talking. Like even if you're a freshman and you have no idea what kind of job or what kind of internship you want to do, just go up to a booth and start talking to the recruiters. Like start understanding what kind of things they're looking for. Go to the workshops and like, you know, it's like the more you put yourself out there, the more networking gives you the opportunity to like get insight towards like something that you may want to do next. So something that it helps you make a decision and understand your situation and like other situations better without you necessarily going through it, because you're able to like right now the three of us are kind of networking and we're talking about our situations and our experiences. So it's like, okay, I already know what Emily's doing. I know what Sandra is doing. So if I ever encounter like a similar situation, it's like I know who I can talk to, or I can understand like what different paths I can take. And it's the same thing with networking for jobs. It's like you need to be strategic about it, and that's how you're able to like find the job that like you know land a job or land an internship. I didn't have to go through like lots of interviews to get my first job, just because I was able to network during like a conference and to just land a job directly. And you're able to you need to learn how to like sell yourself when you're trying to like kick off your career or like advance your career.
Yeah, I felt like networking was so helpful when I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do after I graduated college, and just like chatting with people on the phone and learning about like what do they do for their job. And that's how I ended up really figuring out I wanted to do cybersecurity. So I totally agree. Networking is so important, and I think it's super
Yeah.
helpful to find something that you're passionate about. For sure.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
it's difficult and it's okay to change. I mean, I was going through a career crisis just like less than a year ago. And the only way I was able to kind of get out of it was by networking, by understanding what other people were doing, people who had like a similar background in material science and engineering, or understanding what they're doing in their aerospace jobs, because I honestly felt like I had to leave aerospace to find something that I enjoyed, that I liked. And it was honestly it was a very frustrating situation, but the only way I was able to kind of get through it is understanding and networking what other people are doing to see what else is out there, what else is available for me to develop my career. Because I mean that's why there's so many women in STEM, women in engineering that end up leaving. That's why we have such a huge like issue with retention. And yeah, I want to make sure like we avoid that, or like other people not leave this space, because we really do need more women.
Definitely. I'm
So
seeing like
I
some
actually have
great
a couple
questions in the
questions.
comments.
Oh, is it the how
Can
to
you
get
guys
good
hear
at
me?
selling yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then another comment that Joanne made, very impactful. It's like network to get work, which is so true. Because I feel like recruiters, once you get in front of a recruiter and he finds an affinity or something with you, right? The person is gonna try to help you, and that's where your grades like don't matter anymore, or where you went to school, right?
Right.
So yeah, and so two good questions. STEM Media asked, how do you get good at practice selling yourself? And if you have an elevator pitch. So we'll do the first one, like
Yeah, I mean
you
we
know,
can combine it. How you get good at selling yourself. I mean, the typical answer is like practice, practice, practice. You know, like I remember the first thing that I ever did was like take a pencil and a piece of paper and like write down the qualities that I like were my strengths, and I somehow just wrote a paragraph saying like how those are like my strengths and how that can translate into helping someone. But then later on, I learned more about the emotional intelligence side of things and how you're trying to sell yourself, but at the end of the day, you need to also understand the other person's perspective. It's like you need to try to get into the other person's head. Have you ever read the 48 Laws of Power?
The power, yeah.
Yeah, so I would recommend that book to like anyone. It's just understanding how you can like take your strengths and not just keep it on the technical side. And I think that's what engineer students tend to do too much is like just like spit out their skills instead of like storytelling, how you can like have an impactful, how you can create impact with like your story and what you have done or what you have learned so far. So that's how I would practice selling myself. It sounds kind of weird, like selling yourself, but like yourself to recruiters or like anyone who might be like hiring or who you might be able to be an asset to. And then what was the other question?
An elevator pitch.
An elevator pitch. Do I have an elevator pitch? I don't
So
think
what would you put? What
practice.
would you put it in an elevator pitch? Like what would you say? Like what makes you unique, I guess? Like what's your
Right.
brand?
So I think um, it would probably be something similar than what I wrote on the introduction. Like, hi, my name is Lara Huapaya. I'm currently like an aerospace engineer working on developing new technology for material like aircrafts. But on my free time, I'm also a podcast host. I am a blogger to create resources and opportunities to younger students and teach them what I wish I had learned like 6 years ago. And that is what I like to um, tell people, to show how I, as a human being, am adding value to like everyone around me. So it's not so much about what you want; it's like about what are you giving. And an interesting thing that you need to give in order to receive. And I think people will find that a little more important. Like after explaining the value that you're adding, you can then like say, and I'm looking to expand in this one direction. Yeah.
Nice. So, oh, that's my next question, I guess. So you recently started a blog, and that you just talked about that. So what do you aspire to do with your platform?
Yes. So this took a while to think through, to develop, to launch in general, because I bought the domain back in 2019. We're now in 2021. And yeah, it's like now towards the end of 2021, and I finally felt like what I wanted to do with this. Um I'm a very like multi-passionate creative person who just likes to really be able to give and help people. So what I aspire to do with Daydreamers, which is the name of the blog, if you go to www.daydreamers.com, there are four main pillars that I want to create content in, that I know affect my life and create a fulfilling life, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. I believe that we all deserve to live that kind of life as human beings. But the thing is, there's not one way of living like a fulfilling life. Like that looks different for everyone else. But um there's specific keys or like steps that you can take to achieve that for yourself, because I feel like not a lot of people take the time to create this with themselves, like get to know themselves, like heal and like find different ways to like reach financial like freedom. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with the FIRE movement, like financial independence, retire early movement, uh, where you're able to essentially retire early. In all honesty, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think that we as human beings deserve to like work until we're 65 years old and then like retire and start living our lives past 65. I think there's a lot of power behind like reaching financial freedom, and investing and understanding the life that you deserve to live and not work yourself to death, while being smart about it. It's like you can still work and love your job, but taking care of your finances is part of like taking care of yourself. And that's another thing that I want to talk about on my blog. Like, how do we actually take care of ourselves, just like mentally? When I was in college, I went through like a year of like depression and anxiety, like studying and like working full time and like studying 24/7 and like, you know, going through like engineering school and all of that stuff really took a toll on my mental health. And I spent a lot of time just like trying to recover and like heal from that. And I've met a lot of people on Instagram as well that have whose focus is to help students like um not let their mental health like take a toll during their studies, because that's just not how it should be. We have normalized like struggling with mental health, but we need to start normalizing like moving away or living without, like, don't normalize experience that don't like take a toll on our mental health. Like, we can do this in a healthy way. um and then, yeah, and another thing that I really like to do is like travel. I've learned so much. I met so many amazing people through like traveling experience, adventuring, meeting new places, trying new foods. I love food, and all of that stuff. So, and that's such a huge thing for like your personal development, how you how you connect with other people, the experiences that you're able to live. And in all honesty, like I really enjoyed like merging all of that together, and that's where I really to like just put out there for like the Hello Daydreamers community. It's like, live your life at its fullest. And I've taken the time to explore so much, because I was so lost at one point that I'm like, let me just go try out like 30 million things. I went and like I was so lost in my career. I'm like, I'm gonna quit everything and I'm gonna go get my real estate license. So I went and got my real estate license. Am I gonna practice it? No, because I do like my job in engineering, but it's like I've I feel like I'm the type of person who like needs to know what every situation would look like, and I go out and try it. I love going out things and just doing it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I want to be able to share all those experiences with people, just so they can have an insight to all the different possibilities that they can achieve with their lives. So yeah, that's what the whole platform is going to be about.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Emily, you have the next question and the next meme. Do you want me to show it and you describe it?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so it says, no matter how long the lecture is, the knowledge before and after lecture remains constant. So you want to talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah, because sometimes you go into class not understanding the topic, and you leave class still not understanding the topic. So it's so much time and effort that takes outside of class to sometimes teach yourself. I should put this meme of like, I don't know if you've seen this meme of like the dog walking itself. It's like, this is me like going to class, or like my professor like having me teach all the stuff to myself, or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, I really struggled to like learn during lecture, to be honest. I don't know if it's just the type of learner that I am, but I'm so much better at like going through all the content myself and then going out and like asking questions. But there were times during like lecture where I would just like, I would not, or I would fall asleep, because like I would spend so much time like studying for other classes that like in class like I would actually not learn. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's almost like so much information is being thrown at you in class. It's easier to digest like once you're out of the classroom.
Yeah, it is. It's like I feel like things start like hitting you after you leave class. Not
Yes.
even in the class. Like, you don't even have enough time to process all the information when you're in class.
Yeah, like those aha moments. Yeah.
I
That
know.
was my thermal class. I had to teach myself because I didn't understand the professor. So,
Hmm.
like, I just stopped going to class because I just like I would go to class to just sleep in the class because I didn't understand the professor. So I just knew I had to like teach myself. But I loved it
Right.
actually. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
I love it
actually,
too.
yeah, I
And it's
actually
like,
passed that class with an A, which was surprising. 'Cause I was like, I thought
yeah,
it would be so hard.
And it's so like it's so convenient now because now I'm not like I don't feel ready to go back to school for my master's. However, I still like to learn. Like I love to learn anything like new. Like I just want to go out and learn it. So I've been picking up classes through like Udemy and like Coursera, and it's like I mean, and you essentially kind of like teach yourself. But it's just so much easier now because I already know how to do it. That's like I feel like I'm a lot like quicker at like picking up things just because I know how to like teach them to myself.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, I wish I had papaya tutor for thermodynamics or organic
Paulina is
chemistry.
too cute.
Okay, for some reason, I didn't have to take organic chemistry, and I'm still like surprised that that wasn't a requirement for material science and engineering. So, but I don't know. I definitely think I would have needed a tutor, um, for OChem.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Emily, you think you have the next one?
Yep, I have the next question. So, what are your thoughts on investing in financial literacy? So you bought a house straight out of college. Can you give us any tips to begin your wealth, building your wealth journey? So it's kind of a two-part question.
Yeah, so I think this is a really important side or really important knowledge for women to have. This is really like, I think it was a few, like, couple of weeks ago where, I don't know if it was like National, like, Equal Pay Day or I don't know, a lot of my friends like to talk about that stuff and it's important to share it with people because, like, we get paid, what is it, like 90 cents to like, um, a dollar for like compared to men. Someone like correct me on the comments, but then it's even lower for like Latinas and like
Yeah.
Black women. It's so much lower. So it's like, how can we actually like start using the money? Like we're already like getting paid less. There's already like a gap between like our finances and everything else that we want to achieve. So how can we actually? The only way that we can take advantage and gain power back with our money that we're our hard earned money, like we're working hard for this money, is by learning to invest it, spending time learning about financial literacy, how to manage your money, how to invest your money, like the crypto world, like NFTs. It's like all these different little things that you can get your money to work for you instead of you working for your money until you like die basically. And it's like, so Paulina said tomorrow is National like Women's Equal Pay Day, and that's so important to understand that. Yeah, it's just so important. And to be honest, like for me, buying a house that I get to renovate and like flip. Okay, so I think I'll take a step back. Growing up, I grew up around a lot of like construction, which I don't know if that's why I wanted to go into like civil engineering or architecture, but real estate has always been something that I'm deeply interested about. If you want to learn more about it, anything on like the Bigger Pockets podcast, I bought their books, and it was just something that I just felt really like passionate to learn about. Which is why like I like right after college, I saved most of my internship money because I lived at home. I learned how to like just save money in general and then use that to put towards a down payment for a house and fund renovations. And as I like continue to finish that, I want to be able to, flip it and continue building like a real estate portfolio. Because if there's one thing that I want to encourage more women to do is like build your assets, build on your equity. The sooner you can do that, just the more financially stable and like you're gonna have so much peace of mind knowing that you can take care of yourself. That like you're not gonna depend on someone else. You don't depend on the government. You don't depend on like your paycheck to paycheck for that paycheck to come in. Like learn how to take care of yourself financially so you can take care of yourself like mentally and emotionally. So that's something that I really like to encourage like more women and every young like student um to do because I think we should normalize that more, to be honest. And like we already invested so much money in our education. We invested so much mental brain power on like engineering school. Like there's no way I'm not gonna take care of that.
I wish I knew earlier. I just heard actually. I learned when I was at Accenture working, and it was like second nature to everybody there. Everybody. 2016 was already deep in Bitcoin, and like I feel like that wasn't normal to me because my parents didn't do it. It wasn't
Right.
normal to them. So it took me a while to be like, like, okay, I'll invest, right? Like I started with like $100. Actually, I started with less. And then like I got like my feet wet and then I got better at it. And I think it's important for everybody to know that having cash in the bank is the it, it's just like having a depreciating asset. Cash is a depreciating asset. So you should have your money in stocks, in real estate, in whatever crypto is safe. This is not financial advice, but
Well, yeah, we're
cash,
not
it is
financial
a
advisors.
depreciating asset. They're printing more money. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't make sense, right? Like, if you might as well just have it, like, be informed, watch Fox Business, Bloomberg News, get 2 hours in like the stock market and just get good at it. I mean, you don't have to go in like with like $10,000, but with a little bit,
Right.
get better at it. Invest in the companies that you are buying from, like Nike. Nike is a great investment. Apple is a secure investment. So yeah, I love that, and
Yeah,
I wish I knew earlier, and I wish my parents knew earlier too, because my
that's
dad
the
just
thing.
retired. Yeah, my dad
Yeah.
retired and he just started investing. And he's like, "Thank you for telling me." And I was like, "Why didn't you like invest before?" And he said that he just thought he would always have a job, and that's why he didn't invest. And he's an engineer. It's not like he's, you know what I mean? Like, but he comes from very humble backgrounds where that's not normalized, right? So,
Hmm.
yes, it's important, like very important. What
Yeah.
about you, Emily? Are you investing in anything?
That's on my to-do list. I feel like I'm picking up all the tips from you two from today's chat.
And
But
that's,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I
that's
was
like
about to
so
ask though,
important.
do you have any tips for people who are just starting to invest and like how to get into that?
Yeah, so yeah, Ethereum, Paulina, Ethereum is my love. So I did write a blog on just the top start my like financial literacy like journey to like get started because it's overwhelming. I'm gonna be like completely honest. Like it's not like you wake up one day and like just start checking like the stock market the moment you wake up. It's like it takes a while to like
Yeah.
ease into it emotionally, mentally. Like it's a lot and it's a lot to learn, you know. But I would just start off by um like Sandra said, like pick one store. Like I think I can't remember what it was, but like one of them was Starbucks at one point. I was like, I drink Starbucks like every day or Dunkin', and it's like, let me see what this is doing. So it's like I started understanding like the graphs a little better. I started understanding. I then purchased a course through Udemy for like understanding the candles and understanding what little things like what all those numbers meant. And it took a while to kind of get used to it, but it's all practice. It's all practice. You need to do a little bit every day, um, and just start understanding the technical side of things. Like I feel like we're technical people, so I was really interested in the technical side of things, and then that kind of evolved into a habit. So that's another thing of like building healthy habits for yourself. I think to me it's all connected, and that ties back to what I want to do with like Hello Daydreamers. It's like we're all like I think we're all multi-passionate or multi-dimensional human beings that like we like to do just little things, little habits that end up like helping us build the life that we want to live, and the life that we deserve to live. And financial literacy, it's a huge part of that.
And just FYI to everybody, who like might be afraid because I was there. You don't have to like day trade, and I think that that's why you would want to learn the technical stuff, like the type of candles, the type of trends. You don't have to learn how to day trade. You can invest on something that is secure, and then forget it long term, right?
Right.
Like something secure, obviously, like an Amazon, like an Apple. Those are just gonna go up. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you don't have. So Emily, you don't have to like like because I know it seems like a lot, but you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
like like learn all the technical. You can start investing with a little bit. I
Yeah.
remember
I
I
mean,
put $10 on Bitcoin. I was just like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
right.
And then I checked, and it was like 100. I was like, oh shoot, like I should
Yeah.
have done this before.
And it's gonna go up and down sometimes. And like, I mean, what they usually recommend too is like start with like ETFs. ETFs are secure. That's what they put on your 401k. Like if you have a job, go through like all the I took one day I think just to go through all the things that my company puts and invest in my 401k, and then after you're able to understand what's available there, you're able to like take care of your own like portfolio.
Right.
But that's a great place to start, is just like understanding what your company is doing for you when you start working full time, like through your 401k. Can you hear the background noise?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sitting outside and there's I think the neighbors are like the kids are crying. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You're
It's
fine.
okay.
You're fine. I feel like I should have brought my like notebook to this. I should have been taking notes. You had so many great tips. But as we're just like wrapping up, are there any last words of empowerment for females out there?
Speak your truth. Don't be afraid to like speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to like take a risk for yourself, and take it as a learning opportunity. Even if I don't believe that there's such a thing as like failure. Because like understanding and gaining more experience from everything that you do. So I would say speak your truth, and yeah, go out and take risks.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Thank you. Emily, do you have anything else? I think that we actually can say bye with a last meme review. Uh, so let me share.
Okay, so this one says on the left. So studying for finals. When did you become an expert in thermonuclear astrophysics? And then the guy says last night. So you want to talk a little bit about why you chose this one?
Because I was a procrastinator. I think that resonated with me a lot. Like, I don't know, for some reason, like every semester, I'd be like, I'm gonna stay on top of things. I'm gonna like study a little bit, like every week. But then for some reason, like at the end of the semester, everything just like piled up. Just like crammed the night before, like all of the lectures. Um, and I don't know, I just learned to study like the night before the exams went fine. So it's like you learn the topic like the last week before the exams, and then you're fine. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, it happened. It happened with some classes.
That's
And if
funny.
you've seen the movie, like if you've seen them, I don't know if you've seen like the Avengers movie, if you're into Avengers at all. But yeah, that's also from that movie.
I don't know if I could. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I couldn't hear you.
I
Yeah,
Uh,
can you just repeat that?
I hear some wind from you, Sandra.
or maybe I'll leave it.
No, it's okay. Oh yeah, no, I was saying I don't know if you saw the movie from the if you like Avengers and that type of stuff, but that's also from that movie.
Oh yeah, Tony Stark. Who doesn't love him? I think I cried when he died in the last
I,
movie.
I
That's the
did
last
cry.
one I saw, anyways. Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Emily, do you have anything else?
This was great, Lara. You were amazing. This is such an informative chat, and I learned so much. I'm sure everyone else learned so much too about what you're doing is awesome, and I think you're just doing great things. So keep up the great work, and I look forward to like hearing more about your blog and everything that you're up to going forward. So
Thank you. Yeah, I know. Like this is the first time that I've met you, Emily, and I look forward to like seeing more of like everything that you create. I think the efforts that you do is great. Same thing with Papaya Tutor. Like this is what I love about like meeting more women who are like intentional with like their actions and their time. Like it's so amazing to meet more women like this.
Thank you, and everybody. Thank you to Engineering Means Sky for letting us use his platform and voice our opinions and our journey and some tips for all the students, and STEMedia for producing the show, Papaya for hosting. And yes, so you can rewatch this live. We'll be posting it in Engineering Sky's channel. You can also go ahead and see it on YouTube. And we now have papaya blogs. So everything that you have heard, and if you want to have any more tips about your financial literacy or journey, you can also go to Papaya Blog, and it's papayatutor.com, and that is Lara's blog talking about her journey and also her new venture, which is Hello Daydreamers. Anyways, I wanna okay. Anyways, I wanted to just say thank you to everybody. Lara, do you have any last words of wisdom that you want to pass along?
Um, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. Like, thank you so much for starting like this type of stuff, like this talk to like encourage more women in STEM and like like uplift them. It's so great. I saw that Nikki just joined. It's like we kind of like summoned her to join the conversation, but we can have another talk with her another time. But yeah, thank you so much again for having me, and it was great talking to you both.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Emily, for co-hosting and all your efforts. You're amazing. Thank you, Lara. I'm so happy that you're launching this this dream of yours and to pass it along to everybody. And thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to our recurrent watchers like Paulina, Joanne, uh, even Eduardo who doesn't have to watch but he still sees it. So Nikki, thank you for joining. I think she like heard from the Bitcoin gods that we were talking
I
about
think so.
financial
Yeah,
literacy and she's like,
we like
what's up?
manifested her.
Okay. Well, thank you ladies and have an amazing night.
Thank
Goodbye
you.
everybody. See you
Bye.
Bye.
soon. Bye. Till next Wednesday.